Hello again, everybody. This is Mark and Linda Wardell coming to you again from the Freedom and Virtue Institute. Today we'd like to show you another little arts and craft hobby that you might like to be involved in or learn how to do. This again can create income for you if you are able to melt some wax, pour it into a mold with a wick in it, and then package it and sell it, maybe on your online store. So today we're going to teach you how we make beeswax candles. So some of the things that you're going to need for this, and I have a sheet that I will put up during the video with where we purchase some of these supplies. The things you'll need are, of course, beeswax. We have our own beehives, and so we can get wax from our own hives, but if you don't have beehives, then you can purchase it from a number of places: Hackenberg Apiaries, Amazon, Betterbee, and you'll see those listed in their websites on a sheet that I'll put up during the video. So other than beeswax, of course, you'll need some beeswax molds or candle molds. Here Linda's going to hold up for you some examples of these molds that you can purchase. Again, we'll show you where you can purchase these molds. They make different sizes and different shapes of candles. The other thing that you'll need to do is to purchase some wicks, candle wicks, some like Miss Linda's showing you here. Some mold release that you'll spray into the mold to help it come out at the end of the day. And you may need to get yourself something like this, a double boiler that uses hot water in the bottom, and you put the wax in the top, and the hot water melts the wax. So the wax is not subject to direct heat on the bottom where it can burn. There are other ways other than purchasing this. Ms. Linda, do you have your tin can wax melting set up? So you can just get a pot that your mom may have in her kitchen, and you might ask her if she'll purchase a bulk supply of some fruit or something like that that comes in a tin can, and after you're done eating the fruit in the can, you're left with something like this. What was in this original can, Miss Linda?
Peaches.
Yes, peaches. And I think we had it for a picnic or something for many people. And now we melt wax in this. And can you show them what you put that inside of? A pot?
Right.
Yeah, it could go directly in that one, like this, and the wax can go in this. So this is about $35 over here from Walmart. But if you don't want to spend that, just use one of your own pots, and you'll find a can like that, a can that you've had some kind of canned goods in. Alright, so you will need a needle. Where's the needle, Miss Linda? A fairly large. I'll get the camera over so we can show you some of these things closer up. This needle is used for putting the wicks inside the candle molds, and we'll show you how to do that. You'll need some craft sticks like this, some paper clips as we show here, and here are some of the candles that you could make. Now these are traditional type of candles, here and here. This one is a nice beeswax candle that's made in the shape of a pine cone. This one's in the shape of a ball, another pine cone one here. This one is a nice little pyramidal shape. I particularly like this one, which is a cylindrical candle that has a nice edging on the outside, and again another one that's more of a cylinder but has different shapes. And of course you make those in molds. Here's a mold that was purchased at Hobby Lobby, for example. And this mold, I think, was purchased either at Blue Sky Bee Supply or at Mann Lake. Alright, so without further ado, let me show you some beeswax that we've prepared, and we usually make them in sizes a little bit like this, just in cups. Do you have any of the cups that you pour the wax into?
No, this was just a plastic
cup. Just a plastic cup, and then you'll know the weight that you put in there, and then you put one of these inside this double boiler, and we've already got some beeswax in here that we've had on for how long, Miss Linda, to melt?
Half an hour?
About a half an hour.
Just slowly.
You want to do it slowly or you'll end up with dark burned wax, and you want to keep it as white as possible. We are using not the capping wax. If you really get pure into this and you want to go into competitions, you'll need to buy very high quality white beeswax. You can purchase that online. That's made from the cappings. When you take the caps off the honeycomb in order to take the honey out of the combs, that wax capping makes the best colored candles for competitions. Alright, so without further ado, let us show you, I'll hold the camera while Miss Linda prepares a mold and shows you how we prepare a mold in order to pour this molten beeswax into. Alright?
Now, you will notice that this mold has a big split
in
down
the side.
That is so that we can makes it easier to get the candle out. So when you pour wax in there, it's only going to pour out. That is why you see rubber bands around the outside. It is enough to hold it together.
Alright, so perhaps you could put rubber bands. But before you put the rubber bands on, we need to put a wick in, don't we, Miss Linda?
Yes, we do. Now, right in the bottom, you'll see these ones here already have their wicks in. There's a little hole in the bottom.
The mold comes with a little hole in it, or if you make your mold yourself, which is another thing we'll show you in a craft exercise. For example, would you bring over the mold that we made previously to make a candle that looks very much like this one? I just purchased a candle, and then I made this mold, and we'll show you how to do that sometime in the future. So you can make your own molds, but for now we'll show you how you can purchase molds of all shapes and sizes. You can make a mold around anything that you'd like to make a candle of. Alright, so let's put the wick in. So Miss Linda's putting the what size? This is the number 2 square braided wick, and she's pushing it through the eye of a largish needle, and then she's going to push it through the bottom of the mold, from the top down and out through the bottom in the center of the mold. Okay, and then pull the needle out and pull it back so there's just a little bit left sticking out the bottom, a bit more. There we go. Let's show them if we can. I think I would. You want to leave that much sticking out? That's the bottom.
That is the top of the candle.
Okay, that's the top. Now we're going to cut that off and use a hobby stick.
Well, not yet.
Not yet. Okay, she's going to put the rubber bands on first. So the rubber bands go on the mold, of course, to keep it closed and keep those two edges tightly together during the pouring and the setting of the wax. They will stop it from coming out the opening during, I think, one more, and should be good. What do you think, Miss Linda?
Yeah, then
and now push the mold closely together where it divides, as we showed you before. And now just show them the edges that are held together. Do you see? And no wax should come out of that, because the silicon mold is now held well together. And now we're going to set up the wick. So you want that wick to be in the center of the candle.
Well,
while it's poured.
What would be easier to do first would be to spray it.
Oh, of course. Let's put this, now this mold release is important, and let me show you the one we prefer. You can get different kinds of mold releases. This is our favorite. It's Cami 1080 mold release, and you spray it inside the mold like that. Here's another one we're going to pour, another one, and this stops the wax from sticking to the silicone mold sides, so that it will come out easily after the wax has set inside the molds. Okay, so how many did you spray, Miss Linda? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to pour 5 candles here today, and then we'll see how they come out. So the last thing we need to do is, okay, you're going to use a paper clip. You're going to use 2 paper clips.
One.
Oh, all right. So now look at what Miss Linda's done. She's holding the candle wick with a paper clip so it doesn't slip down between the 2 hobby sticks. Alright, and she's positioning this so that the wick is about in the center of the candle, but leaving a little room initially to be able to,
and then I can pull it back.
pour the hot wax in, and then she'll pull those across to the center. Again, here's the paper clip on, and now Miss Linda will put 2 hobby sticks across that. The paper clip goes across the hobby sticks to stop it falling down inside, and she now makes room to pour the wax. Here's the third one. Again, there's a paper clip already on there. We'll put 2 sticks across there and the paper clip to hold them on, leave room to pour the wax. And is this the last one we're going to do today, Miss Linda?
No, we'll do this one.
Oh, we'll do this one up here.
And then the other ones have to be turned upside down too.
Alright, so there we are. Now the wicks are all ready to pour, as you can see. And what about this one? We don't need to do anything to that one.
That one's not going to fall down.
Because the paper clip itself will hold that over the mold and stop the wick from falling down.
Now these 2 are going to fall over. So what I am going to do...
Well, I just made something out of wood. Why don't you bring it over here where we can show it? This is just a mold holder, if you like, that we can sort of put molds into, like the big long one, to stop it from bending over during the making of the candle. So it goes all the way up through here, and it's supported. Or you can just put it in the top holes like this at the top of this wooden gadget that I made just out of some scrap lumber that was in the garage. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we're going to pour 6 candles for you today.
Now you will notice I have some newspaper down here because you do not want to get wax over
a tabletop
or your mother's kitchen. She will not be happy.
It takes a little while to scrape it off and clean it up. So just put a little bit of newspaper down that will catch anything that falls over. Alright, now I need to put this on the sheet. This is an aluminum jug that we keep especially for pouring the hot wax into and then pouring that into the mold. Okay, so you'll see that we've got wax in it. It's impossible to get it all out once you've poured them the first time. Alright, so Miss Linda is now going to carefully tip the wax. Do you need me to hold anything? She's tipping the wax into this aluminum jug. Now, of course, it's going to start to set once it hits the cold sides of that, so you want to relatively quickly get that now into the molds, but don't panic. You don't have to rush. And how full are you going to fill that up, Miss Linda? Doesn't it shrink down a little bit during the setting?
Right, almost to the top. Then you rock it just a little
to get any bubbles out in the mold and to push it around inside, and then top it up pretty much to the top, and now she'll pull the wick over in a minute. Okay, we can do that at the end. All right, the second one, let's have a look. She's pouring the wax into the mold.
I don't think there's many. There's nowhere for the air bubbles to get in that one.
If air can be trapped, then you need to give it a little wiggle, little jiggle like this to get the air bubbles out to come up through the wax while it's hot. Here's another one. And how long do you think these candles are going to take to set, Miss Linda?
Well, we might leave these a couple of hours.
Okay.
Because we don't want them hot when you try and take them out.
You have to let them set properly.
Yeah.
Here's
Let's
another
see if
one.
I think
We should have enough for this one. It doesn't look like we
have
put
to
enough wax in for those other two. So during the time that these are setting up, we will put some more wax in to cook.
Oops.
And then we can do those other two candles that we have the molds for. Alright, so all the wax, we're just going to make sure they're in the center of the candle now, because as it's burning down you need to have your wick in the center. Now there's one thing I should discuss here as Miss Linda's situating everything vertically with wicks in the middle.
There isn't still some more.
Oh, there is? Well, let's see if we can get one of these others poured as well. Maybe this one here.
In the middle? Which one, this one?
Yeah, that one there. It looks like it might be a smaller one. That will take that remaining wax. Okay. Is that filling up? Perfect. I don't think I'd try to get another one out of. Now move that over. Alright, so one other thing is that you can pre-wax the wick. So you can cut wick material. And
should we do these two?
Well, yes, but I don't think you have enough, do you, for another one? Try this one. It's probably taking less wax. See if we can get that one filled up, but you're running low on wax right now. Yeah, look at that, we made it.
Whoops.
Well done.
That gave me a fright.
Alright, so you can see that once it touches that cold outside surface, that wax is immediately set. But inside the mold,
I'm going to just
you're going to put that in there?
Whatever.
We thought we had about the right amount of wax, and I don't think it's going to be far off. Look at that. That's almost finished. Yeah, if we hadn't spilled this a little bit down here, we may have just had enough. Alright, so the one other thing I was saying is that you can put the a little bit of molten wax into a tray, or you, while the wax is in here melting, you could put like this. You can put I don't think we need any more though, do we? Do you want a little bit for that? Okay, then you can put some wick in there. Linda, would you do that for them? Would you put a section of wick in there and pre-fill the wick with candle wax? Okay, and some people say that this will make your candle burn better when you light it, if it already is impregnated with candle wax. Okay, so that's quite good actually. And if you grab some forceps, or you could the needle nose pliers, just pull it out, hold it up, let anything drip off the bottom of it. Alright, so now that wax, that wick is already pre-soaked with wax, and then you would do this type of exercise and set it up inside of a mold, and that wick, many people say, will allow your candle to burn a little better. Okay, so we're going to sign off right now for an hour or two. Would you please get that paper that's on the printer and put it on our paper stand so that I can talk a little bit about the supplies and where people can get them. Okay, so one other thing you'll need, of course, is rubber bands. Most people have those. Let me turn that mold release around so you can get a good look at that. The Cami 1080 paintable mold release. And I'm going to show you now a sheet here that will describe or will enumerate the items that we've used here, the major items, and then there are websites and the name of companies where you can purchase them. So this is our beeswax candle making supplies list. You can purchase beeswax from Hackenberg Apiaries, Betterbee, Blue Ridge Honey Company, or Bluecorn, which is found at www.beeswaxcandles.com. And you can get candle molds also at various places such as Mann Lake, Betterbee, Amazon and Hobby Lobby. You can get a mold release anywhere really. Amazon has many different types. We prefer the Cami 1080 MD 396, which will cost $10.95 for that one 11-ounce can that I just showed you. And you can purchase that from Mann Lake Ltd, which is a honeybee supply company, hives and all of that. And you can also buy candle wicks from Amazon and a double cooker from Walmart. Alright, so those are the major items you'll need, and this sheet will go up on the video so that you can click on the websites hopefully and be able to go directly to where you can purchase these items if this candle making is for you. So again, we've got a little bit extra. I think that's probably enough for the remainder of the candle that we have to pour. So let's take out the big block. Now Miss Linda's going to pour that into the jug and bring it over and finish the last part of this round ball type candle mold. Just top that up and a little bit more. Alright, has anything shrunk down? Yeah, these two here may have a little bit. Oops. Yeah, can you get it into this one? Okay, and that about used it up. Very good. So again, look at some of the candles that you can make. This is somebody's made this mold just by going and getting a cone from a fir tree and putting it inside some silicone rubber and letting the silicone set on it, and then taking the cone out, and now you have a mold inside. Again, we're going to show you possibly in the next video how to make a mold out of silicone rubber. Alright, we hope you've enjoyed this thus far, and we'll be back in a couple of hours when you can see how beeswax holds the heat when it's all together. But could you please bring the pouring tray over, and you'll see that when it hits a cool surface it sets up very quickly, as it did when it dribbled over this mold. Almost immediately it's set up, but while it's still all together in a large mass, it retains its heat enough to stay in a liquid state for 1 to 2 hours. Alright, so we'll be back and show you how to take these out of the mold and what you've created at the end of the video. Goodbye from us for now. Well, here we are after 2 hours of the wax being given time to harden, and we're now going to extract them out of the mold. and trim the wicks, and that should be it. So let's watch Miss Linda as she pulls them out of the mold. Now the setting time or the hardening time is going to be related to the diameter of the candle and the mass of the wax that you place inside the mold. So of course a skinny a candle such as this one, the one that does it where the diameter is small, will harden faster, careful, may break, than one like this that has a very large diameter and more of a mass of wax in there that takes longer to harden. Alright, so this is, you have to be very careful you don't bend the mold when you're doing this, or you could break the candle. So be very careful when you take the rubber bands off. You can see on this mold how it's been cut down a side. There it is there. And Miss Linda's opening it up to get access to the candle. And we will likely just pull it out the side. Let's have a look.
Can you help me get it out?
Yeah, okay, you got it. Very gently, it's about to break in half. Just right here it needs to be opened up more in the middle there. Alright. So there is this candle. Now it needs to be trimmed up just a little bit.
That's an unusual one.
So can we please trim the wick? Now the wick length is quite critical to how it will burn. It doesn't want to be too long and it doesn't want to be too short, and from memory I think about 1/4 of an inch is good. You can trim the bottom one right off, and then we'll take a knife and we will trim the bottom of this candle here in a moment, and we'll let sit in this candle stand here. There it is. So there's this candle that has a twist in the middle of it. Alright, so now Miss Linda's going to open up the ball, and that just pops right out of that mold, as you can see. We'll trim the bottom off here first, right at the edge of the wax. And then on the other side we want to leave 1/4 of an inch or so of wick. Alright, let's put that one over here and take a look at it. Turn it around if you would. That candle's come out very nicely, and that will be a good item for you to sell and make a little money in your entrepreneurial enterprise. Alright, so let's pull those sticks off. First, Miss Linda needs to take the staple off of that now, because those have stuck down on the bottom. Maybe we poured a little bit too much wax in that mold, but no matter. Trim that wick off perhaps while we've got it upside down. And now just a matter of these molds are quite thin walled, so we can peel them off. These molds come from Hobby Lobby, that one and the one previous to it. Just peel it off, and maybe I'll help Miss Linda pull that out. And there we are. That's a nice little candle also. That looks very nice. You can see the very nice straight edges. Now the next one of a different shape again, and that's the bottom. Now we'll cut the wick off right at the bottom, and then peel it off, and I'll pull it up, and Miss Linda will trim. This is still warm, and you can see on this one we have a few air bubbles on the top that we should have shaken out of that one a little better. Trim the wick off. That's quite a nice shape as well. Nice presentable candle. Now you could just you know, give that as a birthday gift or a Christmas gift, or if you wanted to, you could fill in those little dings in the top, those air bubble holes, with a little bit of melted wax. Alright, the next one, take the rubber bands off. What shape is this? Is this our pine cone?
This is the pine cone.
Okay, here's the pine cone. We're going to pull it open here and slip the pine cone out very gently so we don't break any of the cone segments. And that's been trimmed. Trim the top there, 1/4 of an inch. And it's actually quite good to have a little wax at the top of the wick. So there's our little pine cone candle. Turn it around. Very nice all the way around. Okay, and now this I like this particular candle here. It's a cylinder pretty much with a nice outside edging on it. That is a appealing edge. It's not just a flat straight edge, but it's like little diamonds. Here we go. Here it's coming out. Do you see the diamond shape now? I'll turn it up so Miss Linda can trim the top there at 1/4 of an inch, and then I'll bring it over and give you more of a close-up of it. There it is. A nice little candle, that one. It'll burn for quite a while, and you can see that the pattern extends onto the top of it. And this one, I believe, is Christmas tree, isn't it, Miss Linda?
I think so.
Alright, take the rubber bands off. Have enough rubber bands on there to keep that mold well closed up as you're pouring your hot wax. And be careful with hot wax. If it drops on your fingers or your hand, it can be fairly painful, give you a bit of a burn. This is a very thick-walled mold using a lot of we'll have to pull that apart a bit more. I don't want to damage this one. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'll hold it open if you help pull that out. Just be careful at the top part. Alright, and there we have a Christmas tree. We'll trim that to 1/4 of an inch, and we've got one more candle to take out. It's a normal shaped candle. So these turned out very well. The color of this wax is pretty appealing, and if you smell them, Miss Linda, tell us what you think of the smell of that candle.
I like the smell of
very nice, and when it burns you can get a little bit of a sense of that also. So there's our Christmas tree candle. That's good for Christmas time, obviously. And now we're taking out our last candle. That will be a long, skinny one. That looks a little bit more like this one, with the twist going all the way up. But this one's quite appealing with the twist near the middle of the candle and a straight top. Alright, so here we are. This will be the bottom.
That's the top.
Is that the top? The top's at the bottom of this one?
No, the tops are always there.
Alright, here we go. Let me help lift that up. So this one's been cut almost in half to aid getting this out, or it would be almost impossible. I think I have to pull the wax, the wick through, so I'm just gently pulling so as not to damage the candle. Would you trim the bottom there a little bit, and we can put it into this stand over here, and trimming the top piece about 1/4 of an inch. Now let's set that up in this nice little candle stand, and there we have it. We made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 candles this afternoon, and it doesn't take very long, and they've all come out very well. They're sitting nice and square on the top there, And so we hope that you've enjoyed this video and that you're encouraged to attempt to make this. I will have some other information up on the website about where you can purchase the various items that we've talked about during this, but don't be in a hurry to pull them out of the mold. In fact, the more set they are, the easier really they are to get out of the mold, and it wouldn't even matter if you left it overnight. And so don't forget, put some mold release into the mold each time you make a new candle, and they'll slip out as easily as you've seen them do this afternoon. Well, we hope you've enjoyed watching candle making and that you will be able to incorporate that and perhaps into your online store or your entrepreneurial enterprise. And we hope that you can go online and check out the price that these are selling for and get a sense of what you can sell them for, and you'll have to recuperate the money that you spend on molds and wax early on, and then you'll start to make a profit. Well, thank you very much for watching. This is Mark and Linda from the Freedom and Virtue Institute signing off on another arts and crafts video for our young students. We hope you'll visit fvinstitute.org, F for freedom, V for virtue, institute.org, and you can see other videos of how to cook things, and we made 2 videos recently on basket making. And we'll have more coming up for you, so keep busy during these days when school is off for the summer break, and we'll see you again soon.